This episode is brought to you by Noble Pet Foods. No nonsense, no bull. Go to noblefoods.com, use promo code DOGTALK15, and they'll deliver dog food to your house with Noble. Welcome to Talking with the Dogs. Today we have Barney, who is Barney, how would you like me to introduce you? You are a dog model for sure. The word stellar comes to mind. You are a stellar dog model. Okay, dog model to the stars, to the fashionistas, lots of things. And you can tell us more. Barney, I'm Liz. I know you've seen me. You live in a household of acting dogs. You live with Minnie, who plays the role of Winnie on Only Murders in the Building. And you also live with a dog named Luna. But today it's about you, and Luna's also an actress dog. But you've been waiting very patiently. I know. He says, you like to lurk in the backgrounds. Okay. And he does sometimes in his work, he's in the background. He says sometimes as a dog model, he's a star. And now we can't see you very much, Barney.
Yeah.
Adjust you. But I'm going to keep telling people about you. He wants to jump in. He works as a dog model. And sometimes he's in the forefront and he's like, it's all about me. I get this knowing sense. And with Barney as an animal communicator, it's like I hear him talking. I know he's not literally talking, but how it comes through my senses, now we just see Mom. This is Josephine.
Yeah. Okay, here he
is also with him, and she will be chiming in today. She is a dog mom for sure, but she's also somebody who, as she's been involved with rescue and adopting dogs, she has become an advocate for dogs, and her dogs actually have first of all, they're very fun to look at and beautiful and handsome, as Barney is. He's a male. They are acting dogs, and Josephine is a great resource for any of you who might be interested. We talked about it a bit in the podcast with Minnie about actors' life and what it takes. But I just want to share that Josephine is a great resource for people because, as Barney is saying, it's not cut out for everyone. Sometimes you are in the limelight. So he's like, don't have false impressions that just because your dog is going to get cast. Yes, that's the word. I know, Barney. Just because a dog gets cast in a role doesn't mean that they are going to be a star. They may be in the background, just like there are background extras for people. Barney is showing me, I'm getting this knowing sense. There we go. That sometimes it's not all that's cracked up to be, not that he's going to name names. This is, again, I'm getting this sense from him of his personality that sometimes you just have to be quiet and you're in the background for the good of the product. So a reality check. Okay. So anyway, that's who we have. Josephine and Barney, welcome to Talking with the Dogs.
Say hi, Barney.
Barney. He was saying hi to you. So yeah. Barney, yes, we know you have Winnie, she plays Winnie, Minnie, but we're going to talk to you because it's another perspective, and it comes up a lot in my calls with clients or people learning about animal communication. It's just a dog, or aren't, like I have labs. So people will say, well, you know how labs are, and my two labs are very different. So Barney, I would like to talk about your career, but also what it's like living in a 3-dog home and what you can share. And he wants to add what it's like getting along with different kinds of dogs in the working sense. So we have a lot to cover. Okay, so Barney, we start with favorite things because that's how Josephine, your mom for sure. Mom, not everybody does, but Barney does consider you mom. Barney, what are some of your favorite things that doesn't even have to do with work? Okay, so favorite things, he's got work favorite things and home favorite things. He's like, it's funny because he's very dapper. I know, with the dog, keep going down so he can.
I know, he keeps on, he's laying down now.
That's good. He's getting comfortable.
He's very relaxed.
Yeah, and for those of you who are new to animal communication, often I find that a dog might be very excited and people think, I don't know if my dog will come to the Zoom call. Typically, they all do. And they all end up relaxed at the end. You may notice that in some of the other videos that I've shared, or in sessions, if you ever have a session, typically the dogs are so relaxed at the end. So Barney, I'm glad you're getting relaxed. I can still get your messages. And Barney is an advocate for dogs more that they are allowed to be who they are. And he wants to say, again, the whole acting modeling thing isn't all that it's cracked up to be, but he loves it. He's just sharing that because he doesn't want people to get false impressions. Again, I feel like a knowing sense from him. I hear this. But Barney, let's go back to your favorite things so that we know that this is totally from you. Show me some of your favorite. Oh, okay. So in the house, he's showing me, in the word I'm getting, and I try and be specific in describing it as closely to what he's sharing. I get this sense of him. I seen him like scurrying. He loves to do the scurrying that he does. And I feel, do you have I guess you do have hardwood floors. I hear you have, he says, it's very quick. I don't want to go too fast. He doesn't, he says he's scurrying, that you do have carpets too. On the carpets too, right? Do you have some carpets too? That he loves the scurrying, and I hear the pitter patter of his feet.
Yes, that's so funny. All I ever say is pitter patter, pitter patter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Out of the three of them, he pitter patters all the time.
He loves it. It's one of his favorite things for a variety of reasons. It's fun with the other dogs. And then he likes the sound of it. So Josephine and I met through My Zen Pet, which Lisa Spector plays music for dogs. And there's scientific evidence on certain tones that the dogs like. Some get them more excited, some get them more relaxed. What Barney is showing is that pitter patter of the nails has some effect on him. Like he's like, they could study me. He loves the sound of the pitter patter, as well as, so there's the play, there's the sound, there's the feeling of joy, like an endorphin of the running. There are different aspects of the pitter patter play that he is experiencing and why that is so important to him. And he loves that when you talk about the pitter patter, I've never heard Josephine talk about the pitter patter. I got that from the dog, and I circled pitter patter. When you talk about it and laugh, he knows you're happy. So that releases something else in him, that she allows me to do that. But he says sometimes, you allow him, but then you'll also tell them when to stop. I don't know if you say knock it off, but it's that sort of feeling that it's like, it's all going along, it's fun, but then you'll be like, okay, enough. And then they have to stop. They get like, it's like a song when the conductor goes and ends it. I don't know if that's exactly what the conductor, it's as close to what I see. Do you do something like that you tell them to stop?
Yes. Yeah, because sometimes they get really worked up, running all over the place. But the pitter patter, it's interesting. I say to him, like if I'm upstairs and he starts running around or I hear it, I go pitter patter, pitter patter. So he brought that through. I like that.
First thing, that's his favorite thing. And you understand he likes it for a variety of reasons. So then, okay, he goes silent. It's time to be done. And he goes into it. It's like he settles down. It's still the energy. You know, when you've listened to music, it's funny how I hear you, Barney. When a person listens to music they really like and the song is over, but we're sometimes left with that feeling of satisfying, that I love that song. He's like that with the pitter patter. Even when you tell him to stop, or he knows he has to, he still has that feeling like, wow, that was fun. He also says that when you tell him to stop, this is a favorite thing. And again, with him, I hear voice with him. I hear like he's talking to me. And I know people who are new to animal communication, it's like, what? But that's how it's like an auditory sense of that I'm getting from him, that somehow when it's translated, it comes as if he's talking. And one of his favorite things, because there are many with Josephine that he loves, is that when she says stop, she means it. And there's no nonsense. It's not like it's mean. it's just like, we're really going. Like if somebody says, I'll be there in 5 minutes and they're not, and people, some of us, we get irritated. It's like, oh, come on, I keep waiting. You said that you're coming or what, So with Josephine, when you tell the dogs to stop or we're going to do something, they can count on you to mean it. And that is one of Barney's favorite things. He needs that more than your other dogs. That's really important to him, that consistency. Oh, Barney. Oh, that's interesting. Because when he's working, and maybe this is why he said, and he wants people to know that it's more the modeling than acting. Does he do more modeling?
Yes. He does more modeling. Yeah, he's only done one other TV, and then he filmed this week. So that was the second time, but mostly modeling.
Yeah, he pulls me to, like, if I want to say acting, he pulls me to modeling, to talk about modeling. There's a lot of waiting around. And that's why he keeps saying it's not all it's cracked up to be. Not that he's complaining, but he wants people to know that. And now it's making even more sense that he loves that pitter patter. Like, you got it, girl. But on set, he's not allowed to pitter patter. It's quiet and you have to sit there. And that's why it's not for all dogs. So, what am I saying? Know your dog. And so for him, because he is a pitter patter kind of dog that likes energy and action, having to then work as a model is like the opposite of who he is in some ways. But he is able to do the modeling, and he's like, I excel at it. And I've seen photos of him, and he's rather handsome, and he's able to do the modeling because he can count on Josephine that he knows, like, you've got his back, and that if he's done or he needs a break or he needs a cue from you, like, we're almost done, or I want you. Can you tell us how you communicate with him about when he's working, to give him cues? How do you do that?
Yeah. So I actually do it in my head, as I don't use my voice, but I'll look at him. I mean, I'll talk to him in my head, and he'll answer me and I'll hear it. So, and the other thing is, also, like when we're doing the shot or modeling, he does take a lot of direction from me as far as looking at my face and hand gestures, things like that.
So he says to me, she also uses her eyes.
Yes.
Watches your eyes. How do you communicate different things with your eyes? Like, I do that with my dogs, but how do you communicate to him non-verbally with your eyes?
So I think that I always, I don't know if you've noticed this when you talk with me, but my face can be very expressive because my parents are deaf, actually. And I guess I use a lot of animated, and when he's on set, I do look at him. I have to make sure he's looking at me and he can kind of read me through my facial expressions. And I guess my eyes, whether I want him to stay or, to come, something. And I did this the other day with him in the city when we were doing a filming. He was maybe about 20 feet away, but I made sure that he had direct sight of me so that he could see my face and see, watch me and know what I wanted from him.
Okay, so this is interesting because when we talked with Minnie, I don't know that we touched on the fact that your parents were dead. Well, it's not, you don't need to do that with me.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how, and anyone interested in animal communication, how different people work. Like Josephine and Barney have an intuitive understanding through her face, but Barney is showing me specifically her eyes. And that is an important method that Josephine, you're using when we talk about the first step of in animal communication is, grounding yourself and knowing yourself. And for Josephine, she can draw on her experience of who she is, having lived with deaf people and using her eyes as a tool. Were you aware how much, like, he's saying your eyes? Like, I know you talked about your face. Had you ever realized how important your eyes are?
I didn't realize it, actually, but one thing, now that you're saying this, he is his eyes are very expressive as a dog.
Yeah.
My husband and I say that all the time. He's got these big eyes. He reminds me of that actor, what's his name? Feldman, that silly guy.
Oh, uh-huh.
So anyway,
Feldman?
yes, Marty Feldman. So I do look in his eyes a lot. I wonder if that's what he means, that we communicate through our eyes.
Oh, well, I mean, I have it under, so I take notes. That's how it work. It's like eyes is like underlined. They're really important. And I almost wonder if that's something that he's been in his time with you and how you have been raising him, if that's what's helped him become a model dog, is that his relationship with you through the eyes, he can, despite being an active dog in many ways, because he can communicate through the eyes, he can work and know, okay, we've got 10 more minutes of this, because he knows. It's just
yeah, he does. I mean, I look at him a lot. He has a lot of different expressions with his eyes. Like he gives you the side eye, or if he's not ready yet or something. So yeah, he does. I feel like he's very vocal, not in the way of meaning that he barks so much. He does bark, but he's very expressive with everything.
Yeah.
He likes to talk.
I think, and this is sometimes we're not aware, and again, this in animal communication, when people are studying it, why it's good to work with other people for fine tuning, because you get like a strength of Josephine's is she's lived with deaf people and worked with deaf people and can understand that there are nuances to communication that is just as meaningful and effective without speaking and without hearing. And in some way, I totally think this is infused in your relationship with Barney.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never thought about it. Now it kind of makes sense that there's been a few people that have said to me, "Oh, you're so expressive." Sorry, the landscaper's back.
Back. Barney, do you want to go check things out? Do you need to, or can you stay a little bit longer? You want to go check things out? That's fine.
You hear
him? Yes, he's doing his job there.
Yeah.
So what does your shirt say?
Oh, so my
we should know about.
Stressed, blessed, and bulldog obsessed.
And if somebody who's watching needs to get that, is that available that someone's selling?
Actually, somebody got it as a gift for me, I think from Etsy or something.
Okay. So,
yeah. Okay. Sorry, he's all excited about the landscaper.
That's okay.
I'll put you back up here.
So we'll just keep going. So we'll talk some more. So Barney is off doing something, but I can still get messages. So we're going to keep seeing if he's got other favorite things that I can get. Pitter patter the eyes. He's showing food. Okay, so what are you going to say about food? It's like he's a selective foodie. He's like, I have my preferences. Okay, so I see. Is there something that you give to him? Hi, Barney. You came back. Thank you. Barney, I want to hear about your favorite. He's got a treat that I feel like the others don't get. That it's like, I feel like your hand coming through the other two that you give to him. Is that something that he gets? It's with some, I don't know, yellow, or the other two get he's got one dog on each side of him. Your hand is coming through to give him something that makes him feel special. Now, maybe, again, this is how animal communication works. I give puzzle pieces and it's up to the person to figure out the meaning, but I try and be specific so it's helpful. But there's a special treat that he gets, or that you make, how you dole it out to him in between the others, that it's my turn and he feels super special.
Well, he does. I give him like let's say sweet potatoes, cooked sweet potatoes, things like that. Sometimes he gets things that the others don't get because they have allergies and they can't always eat. He seems to be okay as far as, knock on wood, allergies and things like that. So he sometimes does get things that they don't get. And I guess he likes that.
Oh, he loves that. And hey, Barney, that's okay. So this is how, so I feel when I said that it's like you give it to him in a way that the others can't have it. It's almost like they don't see it, or he knows it's just for him.
Sometimes, yeah, I'll put it in his bowl, but they don't get it in their bowls. But so I'm hoping they don't know that they're not getting it, but
well, Minnie doesn't care as much.
Okay.
Because she's like, she knows it, she just doesn't care. She like a lot of things about him she can't be bothered with because she's secure with
yeah.
like, that's him. But he's showing me more that he just, it's tied to a favorite thing, that he loves being special that way with this food. It's not even so much what it is, it's just the fact that he's getting it and they don't, not in a like way, but he likes it. Hi, big guy. Am I getting this right about you like feeling special? That is more important. Yes, we heard you. It's even more important than what it is. It's that he gets a little something. Barney, yeah, I see you licking your chops. Maybe when we're done. So Barney, can you look at me? I want to see.
Barney, look.
Show us your, oh, you do have nice eyes. So Barney, do you want to say anything else about your things? No, I'm done. Okay. Okay. That's fine. What do you want to talk about? You love Josephine?
Oh, I love him too.
What is it? What is something that you really love about her that she might not know that you could tell her? Oh, the parties and how you make it fun. Fun. He's all about fun.
Oh, yeah.
He does parties. Okay, so I know I saw the post that Minnie had a gotcha day party, and
yes,
and you're gonna have a party too. When's Barney's party?
So Barney and I are actually a day apart. So we're gonna have a big birthday party for Mommy and me.
Oh my God, is it coming up? Because he seems to know about it.
Yeah, May 13th is his birthday.
Okay.
And I'm May 14th.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so we're gonna have. We keep telling Daddy that get ready because we're having a Mommy and me party.
Okay, so this is funny. I mean, so that's what you really like, is that she does these parties, and I underline get dressed up. So I've Barney, I know I've just seen you in glimpses, and I always have known you've wanted to talk, but you get dressed up, but you get dressed up for work. We see a lot of Minnie dressed up, and yes, Minnie is on TV, but Barney likes, you decorate. I want to say decorate because you feel like decorating. Barney has his own outfits that you put him in. He's again saying this. Now he's showing me, I can't see what they are, but they feel very different from what he models. Describe his outfits that you like to put on him that are fun. Oh, they're not as confining as the modeling aspects, but he's not complaining about the modeling. He's saying he likes the ones you do. They're more cushy and comfortable.
Yeah, so he's got his little sweaters and his hoodies. And they have their own triple dresser, and he has his own drawers. Minnie has hers, Luna has hers, and Barney actually has a pretty big wardrobe.
And so Barney's showing me bow ties. Does he has a lot of different bow ties, like a drawer with bow ties?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, he has his bow ties and his sweaters and things like that. Comfy stuff. The only thing I know he doesn't like is his pajamas, right?
He likes the bow ties a lot. So he is a dog that he's very intuitive. And I think it's interesting about, I have never known anyone very close to me like you have who's deaf. But I know and so maybe we'll talk on this. Hey, Barney, we're still going to talk about you. But I've worked with animals who are deaf and blind, and they often, and I sort of comment that when somebody has one sense that is not as strong as another, then others are activated.
Yeah, they kick in.
And so Barney is showing me, like, not just like we talked about the eyes, but also when you put the bow tie on him, like actions, it signifies to him like we're done. Or is that like the bow tie is is that one of the last things you're do? Because he knows that
when we're done dressing. Yeah.
Because he knows when the bow tie is on, like we're ready. He loves the second the bow tie one, he likes it for some reason, but he also knows that when it goes on, then he can do whatever. He feels complete.
Yeah. Also, it's weird. I noticed that when he's got his outfits on, usually we don't put outfits on him. He dressed up especially for you, but usually he's running around the house, no collar, no harness. So when we do put things on, his bow tie or collar, I think he knows like I'm either ready to work or ready to go out. So he actually behaves better. Is that crazy?
Yeah, he likes that bow tie. It means something to him. And it's, you like the bow tie? You're not gonna, I don't think you're having one on today. But I appreciate you showing us that you have a drawer with bow ties and that you love wearing them and you know what it means when you do have a bow tie on. So Barney, what else? You want to talk about toys? It looks like a real banana. Wow. Is that a bone?
Yeah. His chew bone, his fish bone. Yeah.
Okay. So he likes those. Barney, okay. So what else can we tell people, or are you done with our chat? So when I do a chat, I end so we can see if that's what you want to do. Barney, the dogs always get to say whatever they want to say. It's find out what your dog wants or needs you to know. So Barney, do you have a message for Josephine or anyone who might be listening? You get to say anything you want. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is a shift. I get an image this time of, it's like being in New York City. He loves to travel and he wants you to know, he's like, thank you for taking me there. I know it's a lot of work. And he's like, other dogs, it's fun to travel with your dog. I guess like in the dog world, people talk more about when you travel, make sure you have good arrangements. Do you have a dog sitter, a pet sitter? Where do you take your dog for boarding? Barney says it's okay to take your dog with you too. Sometimes it's really fun and the dogs like it. Oh, yeah. It's like it actually helps them socializing and your connection. That's interesting. There's not a lot of talk about traveling with your dog and taking your dog places.
No, so we did travel, during the pandemic. We didn't travel. He actually came to us in July of 2020. So it was in the midst of the pandemic. But we took him on his first little road trip last July. Luna had a shoot in Pennsylvania, so we decided we make a little mini vacation. And we took him, and he loved being at the hotel, going down to the lobby, having his little bed up there.
He loves travel. He's like, more of you should do it too. It's not that hard. Wow. So, well, we'll see what between Josephine and I, if we have any resources that we can include in the show notes about traveling with your dog, because according to Barney, it's a lot of fun to go places and he likes seeing things. He's showing me his eyes. He's very into seeing.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
He loves to see the different things. It stimulates him.
So even, it's funny that you're moving your head like that. When we went, I drove him to the city last week in New York City, Manhattan. He was in the back seat, but leaning up on the window and his head was just going back and forth.
Oh, yeah, I got that feeling. And his eyes moving too. It's almost like his eyes had to keep up with his head. He didn't know where to look. Barney. So are you done? He says, I'm done. Okay. Well, I am a big believer in when a dog is done, something like this, he's done. I feel done. So Barney, I got that. I want to finish up with Josephine. Do you have any questions?
How does he feel about his relationship with Luna?
Okay, so I touched on Minnie is fine. Luna, okay, so his take, and again, I hear him, is like, she's jealous of me. He's putting it on her. So I'm going to ask him, he made it, Barney, is she really jealous? What's going on between you and Luna? What? So she's bigger than him. She's,
Yeah.
and so that gets him, but Minnie's bigger, but it's not an issue. So Luna's bigger. Oh, he's funny. He's sort of like, she's bullies me. Ha ha. Now, so Barney, I have to be really careful in how I translate what I'm getting, because I don't know and I don't want to say wrong words. So can you show me, Barney, what it is? So I feel like Luna's backside, when they're playing or running, her backside sort of pushes him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, they
It's like
rough
a bump.
house. Yeah, they run around and they do knock into each other sometimes. She's tolerates him with all his, activity, because he's younger. Sometimes she'll give him like a swift, move over, or
Yeah, it's like a bump. And I think he actually does need help. I think that I feel like it would be good to step in, and it's like cats that get overstimulated and start scratching. I think he's sort of caught up and it's like he can't slow himself down. I get that feeling, like this whirlpool, Barney? He just keeps caught up. She's fed up or done, but they don't know how to stop. So she does this bump, and then he's like, I don't like that, because it's like, a child who can be keyed up, and then the parent grabs the child's hands like, come on, and then the child says, well, you hurt me. And not to discount that, because that is a serious thing, but did you really hurt, or they just didn't want to have their hand grabbed because they didn't come, like, let's go. I got to be careful, but I hope people get the analogy in the right way that I mean it. It's like, she bumps him, but it's not as if she were to bump you, it might not be a big deal, but because he's bigger, he's more sensitive, and he's like, wait, and then he's trying to figure out how to react to that.
Okay, so I should be mindful of it, like I should intervene.
Yes, because I feel it in the middle of my lungs. Like, it's like, what do we do? It's too much, and it's too much for both of them, but for different reasons. Like, it does get out of hand. And this is common for anyone listening who has two dogs, that one dog may be fine playing, and then all of a sudden time goes on, and the older dog suddenly has a new ache from aging, and they don't want to play so much, because it's like, it hasn't been diagnosed. We didn't know he's suddenly getting arthritis, for example, and the dog has pain, so it snaps. Or the puppy is now bigger and doesn't realize that now I'm a dog and I'm causing more harm than I intend or even am aware of, because puppies at 6 months are different than a dog at 2 years. So that's why we have to, and the trainers are great to work with this, to assess and give tips as dogs enter new stages of life and are behaving differently. So I think some of that is Barney's getting bigger. Luna is just tired of some of this. And when it gets out of hand, maybe like, oh, you know what? It starts to get out of hand after 20 minutes. They only get 12 minutes to play, or whatever works for you. I feel better. Barney, would that work? Are you okay? Like, maybe stopping the play as soon as it seems sort of like too much? You can do that. I think that would be a relief for all of us. Okay, so then he's showing me when they're done roughhousing or playing, because it gets to roughhousing, but you guys are going to try and fix that. He's showing me he wants to go to his space, and that becomes an issue. Where is his space when he and Luna are done playing? He's like, Minnie has her space. She always claims her space, her spot. But when he's done playing with Luna, sometimes he's like, now where do I go? But if they both have a spot that they can go to, like timeout, that would help.
Yeah. So with the two of them, Minnie has her spot, or she finds her own little space most of the time. She stays on, she likes to be on her own or be by herself. The two of them tend to always want to be laying on top of me. So then sometimes it becomes an issue. Like if he wants to be on top of me, Luna wants to be on top of me. So I guess I should have them each have their own little bit like space on the carpet or something.
Yes. Even if it's a pillow, a bed, an actual something that's visible, that when they're playing, so that Luna and even Barney knows, because Barney's a smart one, that they're playing, okay, I've had enough. Before it gets to be too much, I'm going to go to my spot because that's mine. And they know it's theirs. Like I have a dog who he's got a crate that's his. And yeah, that I think that just feels like, because they stop when they get, and it's almost rough housing, or it's too, Luna's bumping him. I feel that he doesn't know where to go. So he just is caught up in this energy. But if it's like, oh, there's my escape route, I'm going to my pillow, my safe spot, you can't get me. What's it called? Like in timeout, or in where you touch the base?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like both of them, you're going to notice a shift if they each have their spot like Minnie has. And Minnie's like, not mine. They wouldn't want it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think is going to have the biggest shift in some way, is having their spots.
So one question I have for Barney.
Okay.
Sometimes, I'll find, let's say, a nice cute bed or a comfy pillow, and he will like rip it up. So how do I get him something? Is it maybe a carpet, or not something so poofy?
So Barney, I see you getting tired. Yeah, you like this? You finally got a chance. So Barney, I talk a lot about sheep, so I want to make sure that I'm not projecting what I think. Would you like that? Yeah. So what dogs typically don't share, I have a client whose daughter went off to college, and I said, oh, have her leave a sweatshirt or something, her pillowcase. And that dog, every time I goes over, brings it to me. And so by giving your clothes, like even the sweatshirt you're wearing, rather than washing it, give it to Barney and start there. Put the bed, or even not a bed. There are some that, I think it's Molly's Mutts makes them that are industrial dog kind of material that you stuff them and then you zip them and you wash them and they don't chew them up. But something like that, that's got your smell, your material. And that's, he can't associate, oh, it's just like a toy, but it's in a bed shape.
Yeah. Okay.
Your sweatshirt would be perfect. See how he's laying on this now?
Yeah.
You can fold up those. Barney, do you like that idea? And you want your special spot? Yeah, I think that one, they like our people smells, and the clothes, our clothes, for some reason, I find that they don't rip them up.
Yeah, they want to be on them.
Yeah, they love the smells.
We'll try that.
You can take your bed sheets and the day before you're going to change your sheets, before you wash them,
a ball. Yeah, a ball.
Put it in a ball. I had a dog this is a Beverly Hills famous dog, and it's like, what's your favorite thing? I go, oh, the day the cleaning lady comes and or changes the sheets, and the dog loves to sit in this mound of the sheets, because it wasn't allowed on the person's bed, but it was allowed in the sheets. So the housekeeper was changing them, loved it. So Barney, you that kind of dog, he wants a special spot, something that smells like you, that's his, and he's like away from the others. Okay, we know you like your time, and it doesn't need to be a fancy dog bed.
Okay.
So I feel good. Barney, you gonna have a good nap now? Again, see, I said this from the beginning, they often go into a deep sleep and relax.
So he's not one to like just lay down and sleep like this. It's amazing.
I know, they like to be heard, and it's like a relief. Like if we have, that feeling people get, like, I just want to talk to you. Will you just listen to me?
Yeah.
I think dogs have it. I mean, look at, I've got videos of lots of dogs doing this. So Josephine, we can't see you, but I do want to thank you
Oh,
for
thank you.
everything you share with the dogs. I know you're making a difference for a lot of dogs out in the New York area. And I know we've talked about Minnie, and maybe we'll chat with Luna one day, but Barney, this was your day. And I'm glad
Yeah.
we could cover so many of the things that are important to you.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. And I will share some of the places, hopefully, where Barney can be seen in as a fashionista. Well, he's the model.
Yeah, model.
The model.
So he recently did one for, what's the name of the company? It's slipping my mind now, but it's with an A. I can't think of it now. But he's done Petco. He does, a lot of different brands.
Okay.
He's doing actually Party City in December. Something's coming out. So
That's funny. He said he likes parties too.
Yeah.
Well, Barney, we will share some of your photos in the show notes so people can see you all dressed up. We will leave you now so you can enjoy your nap. When I end a session or a podcast with people, I just click end on Zoom so you and your dog mom can enjoy this time that's sort of been opened up between the two of you, and see if there's any messages going back and forth. Probably so, between the two of you. So thank you, Josephine and Barney. For anyone listening who wants to find out what your dog wants you to know, you can reach me on my website at talkingwiththedogs.com. Many people who are like, well, I'm going to check this out, like to go to my Instagram, Talking with the Dogs, and see that, yeah, it's real. There's testimonials, but I just want to encourage you to at least follow me or subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can learn more about how animal communication can make a difference with you and your dog. So thank you, and go out and have fun talking with your dog. Ready to find out what your dog wants you to know? Visit talkingwiththedogs.com, book an appointment with me, and we'll find out.